Gregory Ashford had built his fortune through precision and control. At 42, he owned a chain of luxury hotels across 3 continents, commanded boardrooms with ease, and lived in a penthouse that overlooked the city like a kingdom. But on this particular Tuesday evening, coming home 3 hours early from a canceled business dinner, he discovered that control was an illusion. He opened his penthouse door quietly, exhausted and wanting nothing more than a glass of scotch in silence. But before he could speak or turn on the lights, a hand clamped firmly over his mouth from behind. "Shut up," a woman's voice whispered urgently in his ear. "Don't say a word." Gregory's heart hammered. The hand belonged to Nicole Brennan, his housekeeper of 2 years. She was 28, efficient, and had always been nothing but professional. What was happening? Nicole guided him silently into the hall closet. Her finger pressed to her lips. Through the crack in the door, Gregory could see into his living room. 3 men were ransacking his home, overturning furniture, rifling through drawers. But these weren't ordinary thieves. The boss said the files had to be here somewhere. One growled, "Ashford's been gathering evidence. We find it, we destroy it, we leave." Gregory's blood ran cold. 6 months ago, he discovered that his business partner, Victor Kane, had been laundering money through their hotels. Gregory had been quietly gathering proof, planning to turn everything over to the authorities. Only 3 people knew: his lawyer, his accountant, and himself. Or so he thought. Nicole's hand remained steady over his mouth, her eyes fixed on the intruders. Gregory could feel her heartbeat racing against his back, but her breathing was controlled, measured. This was not the reaction of a frightened young housekeeper. This was someone who knew exactly what to do. The men spent 20 agonizing minutes searching before finally leaving, frustrated and empty-handed. Nicole waited another 10 minutes in perfect silence before finally releasing Gregory and checking the security monitors by the door. "They're gone," she said quietly, her professional demeanor never wavering. Gregory stared at her, his mind reeling. "Who are you?" Nicole met his eyes steadily. "Someone who's been keeping you alive for the past 2 years. She moved to his bookshelf and pulled out a copy of Moby Dick, revealing a small recording device behind it, then another from the air vent, and another from inside a decorative lamp. "Your partner has been watching you since you started getting suspicious," Nicole explained, placing each device on the table. "I'm with a private security firm. Your lawyer hired us 8 months ago when he received the first threat against your life." Gregory sank into his chair, the weight of the revelation crushing. "My lawyer never said anything. He wasn't supposed to. You're not very good at hiding your emotions, Mr. Ashford. If you'd known you were being watched, Victor would have known something was wrong." "Why you?" Gregory asked. "Why pose as a housekeeper?" "Because people don't see us," Nicole said simply. "Housekeepers, janitors, cleaners, we're invisible. We can protect you better than any bodyguard in a suit because no one thinks we matter." Over the next hour, Nicole explained everything: the death threats, the surveillance, the careful documentation of Gregory's movements to ensure his safety. She'd been living a double life, scrubbing his floors by day and analyzing security footage by night. "The evidence you've been collecting is safe," she assured him. "I made copies and secured them in 3 separate locations. Your lawyer has everything needed to bring Victor down." Gregory looked at this woman who'd serve him coffee every morning, who quietly tidied his home, who he'd barely noticed beyond polite thank yous and occasional bonuses. She'd been guarding his life while he'd been oblivious. "I never even really saw you," he admitted, shame coloring his voice. "That was the point," Nicole said gently. "But you were kinder than most. You always said please and thank you. You asked about my day. Small things, but they mattered." The police arrived within the hour. Victor Kane and his associates were arrested by morning. The evidence Gregory had gathered, combined with Nicole's security documentation, ensured they'd face serious charges. But as the weeks passed and the legal proceedings continued, Gregory couldn't stop thinking about what Nicole had said about being invisible. He started really seeing the people who made his life possible. The doorman who'd worked in his building for 20 years, the chef who prepared meals at his hotel restaurant, the maintenance workers who kept everything running smoothly. He called Nicole to his office a month later. She arrived in a professional suit, no longer playing the role of housekeeper. "I owe you my life," Gregory said. "I want to offer you a position as head of security for all my properties." Nicole smiled. "I appreciate that, but I have another assignment starting next month." "Then let me do something else," Gregory said. "I'm starting a foundation. Fair wages, benefits, and recognition for service workers. People who keep the world running but rarely get noticed. I want you to help me build it." Nicole studied him for a long moment. "Why?" "Because you taught me that the most important people in our lives are often the ones we see the least," Gregory said. "My success was built on the backs of people I took for granted. I want to change that." They worked together for the next year, building something meaningful. The foundation provided scholarships for workers' children, health care benefits, and fair wage advocacy. Gregory learned more in that year than in all his previous success combined. On the foundation's first anniversary, at a gala celebrating service workers, Gregory stood at the podium and told the story of the night Nicole had saved his life. "She reminded me that dignity isn't found in corner offices or bank accounts," he said. "It's found in how we treat the people who serve us, protect us, and make our lives possible. The real measure of success isn't what we build for ourselves, but what we build for others." Nicole, sitting in the audience, smiled. Sometimes salvation comes not from grand gestures, but from quiet acts of service. And sometimes the people we overlook are the ones who save us in ways we never imagined. Gregory never forgot the hand that silenced him in the darkness, or the lesson it taught him about truly seeing the people around him.